Okay, so here it is, day 12, and it's almost midnight, and the doctor just came in and gave Chrissy some Ambien. Um, she's been taking all kinds of painkillers and other medicines and antibiotics and so much stuff I can't even tell you what all she's taking. Um, but the reason is she's so tired and can't go to sleep. Every night, well, except for the last 2 nights, my sister-in-law came in and she stayed with her and my niece for the last 2 nights because she brought my kids, mine and Chrissy's kids, to spend some time with her and see her. And I took them out into town and we done some shopping and had some fun. And I didn't realize how much I missed them. It felt so good just to hold them. They wanted to snuggle up next to me in the bed. They were really upset though because they can't really stay very long with Chrissy. She gets so exhausted just sitting there, talking to them, and she starts nodding out like this, and it's time to go to bed. But today she was told she has pneumonia and she can't do breathing treatments until her heart rate comes down and it's really high, and her oxygen level is really low because she has pneumonia, and her chest hurts, so she takes painkillers to help with the pain of breathing, and her oxygen level goes down because her she can't breathe. She can't take those deep breaths. But hopefully they can get her breathing treatments or something if her heart rate can go down. But I started to say she isn't getting any rest because every night she tosses and turns and says she's in a ton of pain, or because of the fluids they give her, she has to get up and pee several times through the night. Just a lot of reasons. Every time the nurse comes in through the night, she jumps right up and, the door makes a lot of noise, or they make a lot of noise. They don't mean to, it's just part of it. So I talked to her and I talked to the nurse, and they gave her Ambien. So she'll maybe get a good night's sleep tonight. This weekend, she said it was amazing. Her sister and Amber took such good care of her. She told me that she never knew how much I cared about her, or how much Stacy cared about her, or her parents, or my mom and dad, anybody. She said she never knew just how much people were willing to do for her. And she may not say it right now, but she's so grateful for every little thing that every single person does. And I am too. It's something like this that makes you really realize just how many people you have around you that are in your corner. They have your back. They're willing to leap mountains and, do whatever they have to just for you to be more comfortable, or for you to not have to worry or stress out about something in this time. The kids though, they went back tonight with Stacy. And the hardest thing about that for Chrissy was she didn't have the energy this evening to really spend any time with them. She was so weak from having the pneumonia, not to mention the chemo, that she couldn't hold her eyes open. She said she felt horrible, saying, "Hey, I have to go to bed. I can't hold my eyes open." And for me, the kids, they don't understand why Dad is staying with Mom. I know a lot of people don't agree with this. A lot of people put their kids before their husband, or they put their kids before their wife, and they say that they wouldn't choose any person or anything over their kids. And I'm not, really. But I feel like my place is by my wife's side because I have people I know that can take care of my kids for me. I know that somebody like her sister could take care of her, and I could stay with my kids, which might happen if I have to go back to work. But I was raised by my mom and dad in the belief that your first priority in life is God. You worship, you pray, God is number one. Number two is your spouse. And your kids come after that. That is your biblical priorities. And I know that sounds weird, but I know that's where my place is. Not to mention I love her very much. But my kids asked me today, Dad, why are you leaving us? And I said, I'm not really leaving you. I said, you all were leaving with Stacy to go back to her house. I'm going to take care of Mommy. Well, Dad, why can't we just stay here with you? Why can't we stay here in a hotel? We can still see Mom. We don't have to go back. And my little boy even said, Dad, if you come home, I'll even sleep in my own bed, and I will clean my room, and I will do anything, Daddy, please. And I'm calm now, but earlier I broke down. I mean, he had me bawling. So did Sydney and Megan. And Madison is so tough. Madison has always been the little girl who doesn't like to cry in front of people. And I used to be like that when I was younger. I didn't like to cry in front of people. I usually cried, in bed. And Madison told me on the phone she cried half of the way home. And I told them, I said, she told Stacy and Amber, she's like a soda pop. She's, got a lid on her now, but she'll pop later. And it'll just all come pouring out. But I just want to keep doing our little updates of how everything's going. So I didn't do a video this weekend because I was, with the kids, and Stacy was here with Chrissy. But Friday, she had some issues with her fever, and so did she again Saturday. It's, from my understanding, very common for after chemo for somebody to have fevers. And her fever tonight isn't really bad, but they gave her Tylenol. It's a little over 100, it might be 101. But apparently after chemo you get fevers. And she says she gets so cold that she hurts. It's hard to think that you're cold, you hurt, but she hurts clear to her bones. She said it's just this deep pain. And it's coming from her saying this. She always said that, childbirth is worse than anything she's ever been through. But she told me she said that she would have all 4 kids before she would ever go through that pain again. And I think that really puts it in perspective. But today, they told her this morning she had pneumonia, as I said, and she can't breathe, can't take deep breaths, and she's trying not to cough so hard because she said it just hurts so bad. But, everybody knows you have to cough it up to get it out. There's medicines that can dry it out, but she can't take the breathing treatments to help dry it out because of her heart rate. So she's kind of in a weird loop of, can't breathe, but she can't take the medicine. So she's in pain, and so on and so forth. It just keeps going back and forth to where she can't do nothing to help. But they gave her 2 different antibiotics tonight that's hopefully going to clear that up. And as I said, they gave her that medicine because she hasn't been able to sleep for the whole time we've been here, to be honest. And if you're wondering, yes, I am in the bathroom because I turned the lights out in the room so she could sleep. Tuesday will be her biopsy. They decided not to do a spinal tap. Friday, they were saying they were going to do a spinal tap Friday morning, but she had a fever and her platelets were low, and so they couldn't do it. And then I guess this morning or yesterday morning, Dr. Donovan came in and said that he didn't feel they needed to do the spinal tap because the pain that she was describing in her back of her head and in her back had went away, and he said you would still be having it if it was in your spine. So he's passed on the spinal tap. The biopsy will be the same as before. They're going to take a sample and see if all the cancer's dead. So if you believe in prayer out there, say a prayer for Chrissy tonight, and pray every day in between. Pray every day in between now and Tuesday, and hope that the cancer's gone. Because if it's not, she goes all the way back to day 1 with 7 more days of chemo. if it's good, we're going to be here for about 2 more weeks and let her levels all rise back up, let her get some of her strength back, and then we get to go home, hopefully. The reason I say hopefully is the other day we were told by one of the nurses that with us living 4 hours away, that there was a chance, and I stress this, there is only a chance, that the doctors might see it's in our best interest to stay in the hospital. Because everyone else that gets out, they're local. They're within like 30, 45-minute drive to the hospital. If anything happens in between now and the next time she's supposed to come here for another treatment, which is, it's a different type of medicine. It's still chemo, but they're only going to give it to her for 3 hours one day, and then the next day she won't have it, and they'll draw blood, and then the next day she'll have it for 3 more hours, and then the next day they'll draw blood, and they'll do that for 6 days. She'll get 3 doses over the 6 days, I think. But she could have a problem in between doses and have to come to the hospital, and it's, you know, it's a long drive in case it's something serious. They want to be able to take care of her. So we're going to have to wait and see what they say. And I hope we get to go home. I mean, if she's okay. But I mean, everybody knows you want to be home. If you have kids or family, you know what it's like being away from them. I honestly have went through a few times in the National Guard where I had to go away for a week or 2 or 3 weeks or even a month. And I always had time to prepare for it. You know, I knew usually a year out that I was going to be going for 2 weeks for annual training, or that I was going to be going for a few weeks to the Dominican Republic. I always knew ahead of time that that was going to happen. But this time we literally found out one day, you're going to Nashville tomorrow. And there was really no preparation, no mental preparation to tell your kids or yourself, hey, this is going to happen, you know, we need to just prepare ourselves. So it was all of a sudden, and it was like getting my heart ripped out. It was the same way for her. I hope that no one who has this has to go through this again, and they can just be treated closer to their home. But anyway, I'm going to go to bed. We'll probably do another one tomorrow. Today's day 12. And we'll see you later. You read that? The back, I can't see. Stay stern strong.